Hey guys, this is going to be a series of videos on how to execute caterings. The first video is to kind of go over the catering checklist. Obviously this is very important. It's a tool so we don't leave anything behind, but it's also a tool that can help you give all the information that you need. The first, the very top, is going to be the first point of contact. Who's hired us to do the job. The second's the company name, the address, the phone number, the event time. A lot of our events are from like 1 to 2:30, 1:30 to 3, 2 to 2:30, things like that. The time that you need to leave the facility. Ideally, we want to get to the catering 30 to 45 minutes before the event starts. That gives you a lot of lead time because sometimes you have to deal with parking issues, especially Charlotte, there's a lot of traffic. So that kind of gives you a little buffer zone. And then lastly, ask you a question, do they keep all the ice cream? Meaning if there's leftover ice cream, if there's 15 or 20, we'll tell you yes or no. Different clients, it kind of depends on the event. Usually if they do a cooler job, that's an indication they will keep all the ice cream. If they do a big old freezer, we bring the ice cream back. That's a general rule of thumb there. First thing you want to do when you come in the facility, you want to look at the catering checklist, you want to review it. Number one is enter the address in the GPS so you have an idea where you're going. Two, you want to load up. The first things you want to load up are your tables, your tub, your mix-ins, and the last thing you want to load up is your ice cream and your pump. Generally your pump's going to be plugged in. We want to keep that warm. Obviously the ice cream's in the freezer. We want to keep that cold as possible. There's no sense of throwing it in your car and letting it sit in your car for 30 minutes. Now, what you want to do after that is you want to just initial when you take something out of the facility to make sure you have everything. It's going to tell you how many large tables we need, how many small tables, the tub, the number of ice creams, the flavors, the row of toppings that you need, the whipped cream, the pump, the cart. Initial it. That's the point of the checklist. If you don't initial on the way out and you forget something, that's why do we even have this? So you have to initial it. Because when you get back, you're going to have to turn this in and we're going to see initials on there, okay? Dress code, we always want to wear black pants, your black Carolina Socials catering, and we always want to keep our shirts tucked in so we look professional. Special notes, you want to call Nicole or myself or the client if you're ever running late. We can't overly communicate in those things. The client will only be mad if you don't communicate with them. I'll never be mad if you don't. Only time I'm mad is if you don't communicate with me. So we want to make sure if we're running late, so sometimes GPS sends us the wrong place. So we have to communicate that. We always want to unload in the front of the building. So when you drive up to the building, unload everything right in front or at the loading dock and then go park your car. The reason you do that is you don't be dragging this thing across the parking lot. Because you never know, you can hit something, everything could fall off, and then it gets really bad. If they ever want you to stay extra time, we can do that. It's $10 for every 30 minutes on top of what they've scheduled. At the end of the event, we want to restock spoons and napkins, just so, you know, there's no sense of bringing back empty containers of spoons. That just saves us time later. We also want to combine mix-ins. If it's a bigger job and say you're take the big truck and there's like 4 sets of Oreos, we'll combine it down to 2, so then we have 2 jars we can wash for the next event. That saves us time for having to do it in the store back here, and you can go home earlier. Be sure to put spoon containers in the tubs carefully. If you just throw them in there, they turn over, then you're having to spend time cleaning them up. After the catering, we just want to make sure we put up the tables and tubs in the right spot. That just helps us stay organized. We want to wipe down the cooler really well, inside, on top. We want to scrub that thing clean. We want to combine mix-ins and wash empty jars. That needs to be done at the end of the event. Put unused whipped cream back in the fridge. If it's been opened, we throw it away. Fill spoons if needed. Well, if you do that at the event, you're not going to do it here in the catering location. Wash ladles, wash any dishes if necessary. Then you just want to check with the manager to see if there's anything else that we need to do. Typically, we just need to clean up the facility a little bit. If that's take out trash, sweep the floors and things like that. Also at the very bottom, it asks for the mileage. You want to write down how much miles if you drive your own car, so we can pay you for that. Normally you'll drive the company van. And then you want to put this checklist. We're going to actually have a folder that you'll turn in at the end of the event, and that's something we do check. You know, just want to re-emphasize how important these caterings are. They're a thank you for the people that work in the building, or they're a thank you for working for the company. They're a big deal, so they need to go perfectly. These companies use this multiple times in the year, so we don't want them to ever look for a different company. We want them to come back to us. You know, be sure to really engage with the person that has hired us, because if you make that connection and they like us, they're going to keep calling us back. We never start serving clients or customers early. If the event starts at 1:30, we start serving at 1:30. If someone walks up and goes, "Hey, can I get an ice cream? I've got a meeting at 1:30," politely say, "No, you know, the person that hired us likes to be here to say thank you to you, and they told us we need to start at 1:30. They're the ones that pays us, so that's why we have to stick to the rules. Now, if they tell you, hey, go ahead and start early, perfectly fine, but we just never want to start early. We never want to close up early either, or we never want to look like we've closed down, because then somebody could be walking up and they think we're closed and they walk away. So that can kind of cause a customer service issue if we close up early and we're banging tables through lobbies. Just keep everything as is, and we'll get everything closed up at the very end. You'll spend some more time kind of going over through this in your training program, but I wanted you to kind of watch this video, and hopefully this helps you prior to your first day working. Thanks, guys.